All right, here's a video explaining this homework problem. It was the homework problem from lesson 914. I just saw some common mistakes and I just wanted to clear some things up. And it's just some big things too when you're talking about finding surface area of three-dimensional shapes and volumes of three-dimensional shapes. It's really a topic that I really want us to understand. And so it's just a little additional video to help you out. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to draw this cylinder on here. It has a radius of 6 and a height of 9. All right, and so I'm going to do it down here. Something, it's not going to be perfect, but something like this is my cylinder. It has a radius of 6 and a height here of 9. Sloppy drawings like this, to me, are perfectly fine. They just help me see what I'm really doing here. Okay, so when I'm looking for the surface area of a cylinder, when I'm looking for surface area, and I saw some people do some different things, and if you Google the formula and it gave you the right answer, that's perfectly fine. This is how I find surface area. All right, what I do is I find the circumference of the top circle, and then I multiply it by the height. If I do that, then I'm able to find surface area. All right, circumference to find circumference is pi times, I'm going to redo that because I've always explained it differently. It is 2 times pi times radius. That's how we find surface area. Or sorry, that's how we find circumference. And so when I plug this in, my radius is 6, and so I get 2 times pi times 6. That gives me 12 pi. 12 pi is my circumference. I need to multiply that by the height. And so I take my 12 pi, I multiply that by 9, which is my height, and I'm left with 108 pi. Or if I wanted to write this as a decimal, I would just plug it into a calculator, and 108 pi is the same thing as 339.29. And that is, since it's an area, and this is in inches, I believe, that is inches squared, or 108 pi inches squared. Either one is the correct answer for your surface area. Okay, so again, surface area in the way that I find it, I do the circumference of the top circle or the bottom circle, and then I multiply that by the height. Okay, for volume, what I do, instead of circumference, I'll put this in green, I find the area of the top or bottom circle, and I multiply that by the height. All right, and area of a circle is pi times the radius squared, and I'm going to multiply that by the height once I have it. Okay, and so for volume, I'm going to plug it in. I get pi, my radius is 6 squared, and my height is 9. I start solving this, and I see that I have 6 squared is 36 pi times 9. That's going to give me an answer when I multiply it for volume. Either way, you could do 36 times 9 and have 324 pi. Or if you wanted it as a decimal, that would be, 324 times pi is 1017.9. And then this is a volume, and so that is inches cubed. Okay, or if it's this one, it's inches cubed, and those are my two volumes. Okay, now the last part of this question, so that's part A. Part A is finding this surface area right here and finding this volume right here. Okay, the last part is saying, well, if the cylinder was enlarged by a linear scale factor of 3, what is the new volume of the big one after the enlargement? And the way we do this, and this was in lesson 914, we take the old volume, we multiply it by the linear scale factor cubed, and that gives me my new volume. All right, because that linear scale factor, we generally call it R, that linear scale factor cubed is our volume scale factor. So if we want to go from small volume to big volume, we need to multiply it by our volume scale factor. All right, and we actually have all of this. Our old volume is 1017.9. Our linear scale factor cubed is going to be 3 cubed, because that's our linear scale factor getting cubed, and that's going to give us our new big volume. And what I get here is 1017.9. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. And that'll give me my new volume. And when I multiply this out, 1017.9 times 27, I get a big volume, as I should, of 27,483.3 as my new volume. All right, and that's the answers to this whole question. Okay, we found our surface area. Surface area again is circumference times the height. Volume is area of the circle times the height. And then to find your enlarged volume, your new volume, you take your old volume, multiply it by your linear scale factor cubed, and you'll get your new volume. Okay, that's all I have. I hope this video makes sense to you. And if you have any more questions, please email me.